what we're about to share. We've got Alex Lucic, an absolute branding expert from Black and Yellow Pavement out of Canada, just outside of Toronto.
And yeah, so basically there's two things that, everybody should know with regards to branding if they want to step up their branding game. So those two things are, so you have the outside appearance of the brand, which is what the customer initially sees. It's what draws them in, gets their attention, and it's what builds that initial trust with the customers. For us, it's our trucks. So we put our trucks on all of our branding and our logos. So that's the outside appearance of the brand. And then you have the inside workings of the brand, which is your, company culture, how you treat and talk to your clients, how you make them feel, what really differentiates you from your competitors and contractors. And really, are you solving a problem for them? Are you making their life easier? And this is really the part where you get to build that brand loyalty with your customer base.
So are you telling me then, because I think this is really important, a lot of people think as they're going through their branding change or their transformation, I think a lot of people see it as, well, a paint job's going to cost me this. I'm going to spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it's not spending money, it's investing money into your
investing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Investing money, back into your business. And we were asked once by another contractor, how can you afford to paint all these trucks? I mean, it's not cheap to get this thing painted like that and get all the decals and everything. But, they asked us, how can you afford to paint all these trucks? It's a lot of money. And, I asked them, how can you afford not to? You know what I mean? If you're not going to invest in your business, how do you expect your customers to invest in your business? The first one for me, I would say, is attention.
Attention.
So attention these days is the number one asset that you can have.
Tell us about that.
So basically, as far as attention for us, you can't miss this truck driving down the road, but you want to grab your, customer's attention with regards to, your company colors, your logos, clean trucks, employee uniforms, the website, the brochure, social media and everything. And also, don't be afraid to make bold statements. So, for example, we use the statement, Ontario's #1 seal coat brand. So
I love it.
That's a damn bold statement. I mean, that's a huge statement to make, but you got to be able to back that statement up. And, who's going to tell us that we're not, right?
Right.
So when our clients go on the website, the first thing they see the logo, they see the truck, and they see Ontario's #1 seal coat brand. Immediately, they know who they're dealing with. You know what I mean? Consistency. So
yeah,
basically, consistency and brand continuity. So as we were talking earlier, are all your company vehicles, do they look exactly the same? Or do you have 10 different colored trucks? And it goes as far into detail as all of our trucks are Ford. So you have, for example, you have companies like American Pavement. All of their pickup trucks are Fords. All of their heavy duty trucks are Peterbilts. And everything is so consistent. You don't have one Ford, one Dodge, one is red, one is Chevy. You know what I mean? It's just that brand consistency.
Question about that. I think this is an important one. So with Ford, obviously you've got a connection now and established a relationship with Ford, the dealership that you deal with, I'm assuming. But, for used stuff, I guess when you shop, you're not shopping for a GM or you're shopping for.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. We're not shopping for GM or Chevy or whatever. We're looking for Fords.
So
it's just part of our identity, right? It's small things, but it's just small things that make a difference.
So back to it here. We've got, one is attention. Make your brand very, very attention grabbing. You want it to be powerful colors. You want to make sure that when you're making bold statements that you can back it up, and that when you show up to deliver a quotation or a proposal, people they're wowed by the image and the attention that you've attracted, right?
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, man. When I pull up in this truck to do an estimate, every single time they comment on the brand and on the truck, and that that contract is like 95% swayed in your direction just from that,
Even without speaking to them.
without saying a word.
That is
It's
awesome.
brilliant. It's brilliant, man. It's too easy.
Tell me now, when you're on a job with all your trucks and your guys and everybody's carrying that same consistency, which is number two. So attention's number one, consistency's number two. Keeping that consistent brand. When you're on a job site, how many people drive by that job site that are potential customers and see a badass company that's branded and consistent, grabbing attention?
It's funny you ask that because people literally chase us down to try and get us to seal their driveways. And I mean, we're just not in that game right now. But it's like they won't leave our guys alone. They're like, no, we want you. What do you mean you guys can't do it? Like, we want you guys to come seal the driveway. And we have somebody that we sub the work out to. But again, we focus on the commercial. But yeah, it's crazy how many calls and how many times people stop by and ask for our information.
Man, it sounds like branding. Brian just said they absolutely want to choose you before they even hear your pitch.
Exactly.
I mean, for those of you who are business owners out there right now or considering building a business, if this isn't enough to persuade you or convince you into focusing on your branding right now, you're making a big mistake. When you finish watching this Facebook Live, take these golden nuggets and apply them to your business so you can move that needle forward. I'm hearing you can close deals or have a huge impact on your conversion if you just follow these branding secrets. Number 3, branding secret. Tell me about it.
Number 3. So basically, number 3 is your brand easy to remember? With the name, with the way that it looks, you got to make sure that the client can easily recall your company name and it's clear at the top of their minds. You know what I mean? And this goes back to brand continuity and making sure everything looks exactly the same. The more times they see your trucks and your logos and your brand, the easier they're going to be able to remember it. I mean, we've all been in that situation where you're trying to recall that company name, you're talking to somebody and you just can't seem to recall it. You know what I mean? And how are they supposed to do business with you if they can't even remember you, right? I mean, do people ever forget companies like Starbucks or McDonald's or, Coca-Cola or Black and Yellow? I mean, it's pounded into people's brains, right? It's there. It's always on top of their minds. And that's number 3. So
you want a commercial property owner or manager, a pavement asset manager. You want them, based upon their navigation through social media, through different places that they're doing research about maintaining their parking lots, etc. You want them to think, anytime they think asphalt, anytime they think pavement, you want them to think Black and Yellow. Just like McDonald's, when somebody thinks of a burger and fries, they think McDonald's, the Golden Arch.
Exactly.
Wow.
Not just Black and Yellow. There's Hayes seal coating. Whatever your brand is, whatever you're trying to build, you want to make sure that in your area, like, that's what comes to customers' minds when they think of your services. So number 4, you got to be able to differentiate yourself from the competition. So basically, anybody can seal parking lots, anybody can make burgers and fries, but what really makes you different from all the other guys out there that are doing those same things? And actually, this is a really, really easy one in our industry, unfortunately, but, it's got a bad rep for, most guys have old, broken, rusty down trucks, terrible websites, bad attitudes. And this really goes back to everything we talked about up until this point: brand continuity, having clean trucks, using the best products and doing great work and actually doing what you say you're going to do for the clients, because we're lacking that in our industry. And like you said, we're seeing more and more guys try to change that and do better. So
that's amazing. So differentiate yourself from the competition. As you're saying, websites, social media, and those pieces, they aren't just, they're not options, as John's saying here. They are required. It's not an option. If you don't have a website that's professionally designed and driven, content driven, you're missing the boat. If you don't have an Instagram page that's professionally designed and managed from a content perspective with quality content. If you don't have a Facebook page, if you don't have Google reviews for Google My Business, if you don't have professional proposals, if you don't have all of the different things that truly differentiate yourself from the guys that don't do that to the guys that do, if you don't do that, you're missing the boat.
There's a fifth one, of course, and it's probably the most important part of this, because without this, everything else is, for no good. So basically, number 5 is customer experience. So without the customer experience, you're really wasting your time with all these other things that we talked about. So like I said, this is the last step for us, and it ties everything together. And it's really the part where you get to build that brand loyalty. So Jeff Bezos said it best himself: your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. So basically, for people in our industry, are you solving your customers' problems? Are you making their life easier? Do you get back to them right away? Are you positive and happy to help them, in any situation, whether it's a callback or whatever? Are you there to assist them? Do you get your proposals out quickly and efficiently? Like I said, making their life, our goal is to make their life as easy as possible, because that property managers, they deal with all kinds of contractors, and it's one thing that other contractors don't do. And again, do you show up on time, and do you do what you say you're going to do?
Man.
And if you can leave your client feeling blown away by the customer experience, not only will they never use anyone else, but they'll pay top dollar for your services, and they'll tell everyone else what an incredible company you are to deal with. And as I said before, this is the part where you start to build that brand loyalty.
Wow.
If you build a powerful brand, you'll be able to, number 1, attract better clients. Number 2, get paid top dollar for your services. You see guys out there talking about how everybody goes with the cheapest price, they're cheap and this, that. Well, they're not cheap. You just haven't been able to, show them the value for what you're providing. And number 3, you'll be able to retain business and get new business much, much easier. So if you're wondering if you should, try and grow a brand, there's 3 reasons why, it's an absolute no-brainer.
If that is not fire, I don't know what is, man. That you are an absolute beauty, and I can see you standing there, sitting there in front of your brand, and you've got a smile on it. And I just, as your first Facebook Live that you've done, Alex, I know that thousands of people are going to benefit from this, and very, very quickly. So, thank you so much for what you're sharing.